every person who is charged with a criminal offense is entitled to defend himself in person or by a legal practitioner of his own choice.
Remember that an individual is entitled to remain silent.
Every citizen in Nigeria is entitled to maintain a private life.
You are approaching a military checkpoint or a police checkpoint without knowing that it's against or it offends them and subject you to a frog jump. That is wrong.
Hello out there, welcome to another fresh episode of the program Justify Nigeria on ACNN television, reaching you from Abuja. On today's episode of the program, we are going to be looking at the legal concepts of searches. My name is Anozie Chinomso. A search is an examination of a person's body, vehicle, house, premises, aircraft, or any other vessel with a view to discover contraband, illicit or stolen property, or some evidence of guilt to be used in the prosecution of a criminal action or proceedings. A search is therefore intended to seek out anything that is hidden, which is unlawful or lawful, provided it is needful in providing or establishing a case. Quite often, the evidence upon which a conviction is secured is the product of a search. A search is therefore basic and fundamental to criminal investigation and prosecution. The question now is, who has the capacity to conduct a search? Must every search be conducted with warrant? What can validate and vitiate a search? With me in the studio to address all this is Barrister Betty A. Umebulem. She's an Assistant Director FCTA and also the Deputy Registrar, Diocese of Abuja Anglican Communion. You are welcome to the program, ma'am.
Thank you very much, Barrister Anozie.
Thank you very much, ma. We talk about search. Oftentimes, a layman out there will not know what search is all about. Based on the legal perspective and to the understanding of our viewers, what is search?
Search is examination of person's body, vehicle, house, aircraft, or vessel on a property. For instance, simply put, search simply means the evidence of guilt to be used in prosecuting criminal actions or proceedings.
That's what search is about. Whatever thing that will
aid whoever that is conducting that, be it a police officer or a prosecutor, in conducting his or her case. That is search.
That's search.
Yes.
That's wonderful. Thank you very much, ma'am.
An example of search could be, for instance, where there is robbery incident. And there is a witness that has testified that I saw when the robbery took place, and I saw this young man, he used AK-47 in shooting one of the victims, and he ran into this house and hid the gun, that AK-47 in house so. The police has the right, a law enforcement officer has the right to enter that house and conduct search to bring out that AK-47 that was used in carrying out the crime.
And that can also be used as an evidence.
It can be used as improving that robbery actually took place.
That's what search is all about. Thank you very much. Then, do we have type of searches?
Yes, we have two types of searches. First, search on human being, that is person, and search on premises or property.
Okay. Now that's a search of persons. How is it being conducted?
It is being conducted by a law enforcement officer, usually a police officer. But from 2015, during the inception of the Administration of Criminal Justice Act, even a non-police officer can conduct search.
As you are now?
Yeah.
You can conduct a search?
Yeah, a non-police officer can arrest, but he cannot conduct search. He can only arrest and hand over to a police officer who has the right, who has the mandate under Section 6 of the Police Act and Section 91A of the Administration of Criminal Justice Act to conduct search to do that.
Okay, all these authorities you mentioned are the things that back up.
That is what gives him the legal power, the consent, the authority to move and to act.
That means from your explanation now, is the only any law enforcement officer that can conduct a search upon a person?
Yes.
So a private person cannot conduct a search?
You cannot conduct search. And the Administration of Criminal Justice Act 2015 equally provides that before you conduct search on a person, the person you are going to carry out that search on has the right, has the power to search you first to ensure that you have not brought any incriminating thing to insert on him before you could conduct.
Barrister, please. Yes. You mean, for example, if someone, a police officer or any law enforcement wants to come and search me, I have the right first to search him.
Yes.
But oftentimes we don't see that in practice.
But you know, if it is not being practiced, but that is what the law has provided. I'm sure it's out of ignorance that it's not being practiced.
You see, that's the essence of the program, viewers, that when someone comes to search you, especially a law enforcement, you have the right to search the person first before he or she searches you. So go ahead, ma'am.
And the reason for this is that the person, it's possible the person has been bribed or whatever, asked to come and mount something on you and all that. To incriminate you. And you quickly drop it and say, I found this at the cost of searching your body or person.
Okay, that's the essence of
searching. That is the essence of searching, yes, for the officer first, before he or she will carry out search on you.
Thank you very much. And that you just explained that of search of a body of person. Yes. What about that of the premises?
That of the premises, what the law provides that you must have a search warrant before you can conduct search in a premises. Okay. But there is, in every law, there is an exception. But in this instance, there are exceptions where you can conduct search in a premises without having a search warrant.
I was about to ask you, yes. Also, there are some searches that will be done without warrant.
Without warrant.
Please elaborate. Let's see the examples. You can paint
For
a scenario.
instance, where you have a search warrant to conduct search on person or the premises, and that person or somebody, the person has just, maybe you were told, I saw the person that you are supposed to search on, but he ran into this building. At that moment, you have the right to go to that property to conduct search, to fish out the person you are looking for, provided you will inform the owner of the house, this is your mission, and you verily believe that the person you are looking for is in his house.
Okay, yes. You can now
conduct search without warrant.
Okay, these are the exceptions. Because you just said that for every general there's an exception. So there are some cases you conduct search without warrant, and there are some cases you conduct search with warrants.
For instance, Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps can enter any premises where they have been informed and they reliably believe that yes, that information is correct, that government property is in a private building. At that moment, they have the right to enter that building without search warrant. Custom officers have right to enter premises to conduct search on arrested vessel or goods that are supposed to be confiscated.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Now, Barrister man, for example, somebody wants to search my body or maybe has a warrant to search my house, and at the end of the day, maybe that was a false alarm, nothing incriminating was found and all that. Yeah. Maybe in the course of that search, my fundamental human rights enshrined in Chapter 4 of the 19th Constitution as amended was violated one way or the other. Can I maintain an action against that officer?
If the officer has the warrant.
Yes.
And he cannot maintain an action because he has the warrant. For another exception is if there is a court order or there is a statement on oath signed at the court before the commissioner for oath that so person should be searched without warrant, you cannot say your right has been violated because there is order empowering the person to search you without a warrant.
Okay, now what if there is no warrant or any order or no called by commission of oath and the person comes without warrant to search me and there was nothing incriminating? What is the position of law in that circumstance?
The position of the law is that at that moment, there was a hint. This one has committed a crime. And it is their right under the Police Act and Administration of Criminal Justice Act to move in and act So they have not invaded on your right.
Okay, because there's an
exactly.
Of course, they have to perform their duty.
And that is their work, that is their function.
Then in the case of conducting the search, because this is very important for our viewers, then I did not resist them, nothing without warrant now, or with warrant. And you see these overzealous security officials, they slapped me, maybe kicked me and all that. They even broke my door. No resistance by me. What happens in that circumstance?
At that moment, they have invaded on your right. What they are permitted to do is to conduct search on you and not to assault you, not to harass you. And besides, you have stated you never resisted the search.
Yes.
They have committed another crime.
Okay. So an action can
be maintained against the police.
This is becoming more interesting. Many issues have been raised, but you're going to attend to those issues when we come back from break. Please do join us again. Hi, you're welcome to the speaker on ACNN television, reaching from Abuja. On today's issue, we are going to be looking at the topic changing Nigeria or chaining Nigeria. My name is Anoze Chinomso. Change, as they say, is one of the constant things in life. It is common knowledge that things and events will continue to change from time to time. Simply put, change is the result of alteration or modification. On the other hand, change exists when two or more things are bounded together. In other words, chaining is an act of being in bondage or in captivity. There is no doubt that Nigeria is blessed with all the goodies and pleasures of life. In fact, I dare say that God in his own generosity favored Nigeria more than any other nation in the world. Look at our natural resources, our oil, our good weather, no natural disaster. Indeed, God blessed Nigeria beyond measures. In all this, it should be recalled that General Muhammadu Buhari promised Nigerians in the presence of the whole world that he will change Nigeria if he becomes the president of Nigeria. Precisely in May 29, 2015, he took power and assumed office as the president of Nigeria. But looking at the happenings and the state of things in Nigeria since then till date, I'm persuaded to ask whether he is changing Nigeria or chaining Nigeria. Nothing seems to be working in Nigeria, whether in economy, education, health, infrastructure, protection of lives and properties, etc. I therefore ask again, is this administration changing Nigeria or chaining Nigeria? Before December 2015, $1 bill is equivalent to 190 naira. But today, the exchange rate is 470 naira per dollar. It is unfortunate that Nigeria keeps punching beyond her economic weight. And as such, Nigeria is being chained and not changed. When the protection of lives and properties is no more the agenda of governance, chaining has taken place and not changing. In a country where you become a candidate of death when you speak the truth or not, such a country is being chained and not changed. And this is the situation of Nigeria now. Nigeria is now a country where religious sentiments and ethnic extractions is the basis of political appointments. A young graduate goes into the labor market for a job. The first question he will be confronted with is, what state are you from and who sent you? This is most laughable. Employment in Nigeria is no more on the basis of merits and certificates, but rather on the basis of where you came from and which influential man that sent you. This is why we do not have the best brains occupying the positions of leadership in this country. Indeed, we have a chaining Nigeria and not a changing Nigeria. It is not lost on me that the slogan of the ruling party APC is change. I'm now asking, where is the change? If you are seeing the change, I'm not seeing it. Is the rich getting richer and the poor getting poorer? The change? Is demonizing innocent Protestants and canonizing Boko Haram the change? Is protection of cows more than the lives of human beings the change? Is the massive genocide and homicide going on in Nigeria on a daily basis the change? Is remaining SARS to SWAT, even when nothing has changed in their modus operandi, that is their mode of operation, the change? Is the wicked slashing of more than half of salaries of civil servants by some state governors the change? The question is this: despite and in spite of all these that are happening, are we really changing Nigeria or chaining Nigeria? I therefore speak. Until all of us, including the leaders and the led, join hands and eradicate this obnoxious way of life of religious sentiment and ethnic extractions, speak the truth at all times, no matter whose ox is God, contributes our quota in building the nation, directly or constructively, we shall continue to have a chaining Nigeria instead of a changing Nigeria. My name is Anozie Chinomso. I just want to speak. Hello dear, thanks to know that you are still there. We are still here with Barrister Betty. And Barrister Betty, before we went for break, you are trying to illustrate certain things on the search. And you have made us to understand that a search can be conducted with or without warrant.
Yes.
And once there is any hint,
yes,
they must act.
Yes.
And a citizen will not say that his right or her right have been violated, yes, unless in the course of carrying their duties, there was an assault or anything like that.
On the person.
Or the person. Now, in this case, when can it be said that a search could be conducted? What do I mean? Can a search be conducted on Sundays and public holiday? And can a search be issued on every other day? Or are there days that you will not issue search, or you will not the warrant search, or there are days that you will not also conduct search?
The answer is in the affirmative. And what I mean by the answer is in it is yes, capital yes. You can conduct search on Sundays, public holidays, Saturdays.
Anytime.
Anytime.
Even at night?
It is provided in section 148 of the Administration of Criminal Justice Act 2015 within reasonable hours. And what the law means by
I was about asking you that
reasonable hours,
yes,
between the hours of 5 a.m. to 8 p.m.
5 a.m.
to 8 p.m. Yes.
So anybody coming by 3 a.m., 4 a.m. is not reasonable time from
It is not reasonable time, but there is an exception too.
Explain that exception, Barrister.
If you have been evading arrest or search, and there is a hint that this man leaves the house by 4 a.m., if you come by 2 a.m., you will meet him. And the aim is to bring you to book. The officer has the right to move at that
even if 1 a.m.
Even by 1 a.m. to get you searched.
That's what you mean by for every general rule,
yes,
there's an exception. Yes, but once those exceptions does not arise, it must be between 5
reasonable time hours, which means from 5 a.m. to 8 p.m. Yes.
Oh, that's very wonderful. Yes. Now, when
we have instances. For instance, robbery cases, you know, those robbers, they are very smart. They know that the police are after them. They evade their houses. Then, in this particular case, the officers got the hint that, look, these guys comes in around 1 a.m. and by 4 a.m. they sneaked out of the house. At that moment, their aim is to carry out their duties. You would not say they have not come at reasonable time. If they go before that time, before 5 a.m. to get those, yes.
Okay. So there is reason for them
there
to
is
go
reason
in by
for
12
by
midnight.
12 midnight to get them apprehended.
Okay, that's great. Thank you so much. Now, in the case of, but you just made mention that even it's on Sunday, public holiday and all that. Suppose a person that is on a red book, let me put it that way, the person most wanted, and he's in the church or she's in the mosque, worshiping God. And there's a hint, as you just said, that he or she is in the mosque or in the church, as the case may be. Can a search be conducted where he was even praising God, worshiping him?
As it is now, the officer or officers can't go to the mosque or to the church to arrest, but they will wait outside. Outside the immediately he comes out, they are at liberty to pick him up.
That's interesting.
Yes,
all
but
right.
they have no right to enter
and
into the worship. And yes, but they will wait outside. As soon as he's coming out of the gate, they can apprehend him.
So he cannot say, he or she cannot say it's on Sunday. You
at
cannot.
At all, not at all.
Okay,
not at all.
That's
not
right.
At all.
That's right. Thank you so much. Now, on the as you mentioned earlier, on the search of body of persons. Now, I'm wondering, is it possible, or is it on the law, when a woman is being searched, who has the capacity or right to search a woman? Is it a fellow woman or a man? Can a man search, like I am now, I'm a police officer, and there's a hint that Barrister Bedi needs to be searched. Can I search you, or must it be a woman that will search?
The answer is no. You cannot search me. It's a woman that should carry a search on me.
Is there any law on that?
Yes, it is provided under the Administration of Criminal Justice, and if I'm not mistaken, Section 931 of the Administration of Criminal Justice Act. It's only a woman that can search a woman.
The body of a woman.
The body of a woman. Any man can search the body of a man. The Administration of Criminal Justice Act of Lagos State provides that. In fact, it is so emphatic that it's only a person of same sex that can conduct search on the body. But a man can conduct search on a woman's handbag, on a woman's car.
Okay,
but he cannot conduct.
Okay, her properties.
Yes, you can. A man can, but not the body.
Okay.
It must be a person of same sex.
So where a woman now, a search is being conducted upon a woman, and a man wants to conduct that search, she can resist.
She can resist. She has the right to resist. It is her right to resist that.
And there's also a law that provides that when a woman is being searched, the person that is doing it by a fellow woman must conduct it with strict decency.
Of course, you don't just do, you fondle the, and do all that in any other indecent thing apart from what you are permitted to do.
Yes. So on the issue of a man, must it be a man that will search fellow man, or can a lady search
a lady can search a man.
Hey, Barrister, why is law like this?
Well, if you feel aggrieved,
yes,
you can approach the National Assembly for the Police Act to be amended and the Administration of Criminal Act 2015 to be amended.
So from what you're saying now, a woman's body search must be conducted by
a person of same sex.
But a man's body search can be conducted by anybody, whether man or woman.
But it is more honorable for a man to conduct search on a fellow man.
Yes. Because I've seen even in airport during the time of search, they will say
female
men
one
go,
line.
exactly.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, thereby trying to fulfill all the aspects of
exactly.
We want to appreciate you. Do you have any final word or advice to our viewers on the issue of search, so that when people are coming to conduct search, they will be able to know that they don't supposed to resist any arrest?
Well, my advice to our viewers is that whenever a search is being conducted or carried out on you, it is your right to ask the person that has come certain questions. Where are you coming from? Why do you want to conduct search on me? For what offense? And once there is a warrant, you are duty bound to submit yourself for search and not to resist it.
Once there is a warrant, you are duty-bound to submit yourself to search and not to resist it. Barrister Betty, we want to appreciate you very well for coming. And I hope when next we call you, you will also oblige us.
By God's grace, I will.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
You've heard it all from her, that search is very fundamental in any criminal proceedings. And once there is a search warrant that is being put on you, you must comply rather than to resist. There is no doubt that search is very vital to criminal investigation. It has been established in the course of this program that a search may be conducted with or without warrant. It is also important to state here that the law prohibits the search of the body of a woman by a man. Only another woman can search the body of a woman with strict regard to decency. This is the provisions of Section 6, subsection 2 of the Criminal Procedure Act CPA, and Section 44, subsection 3 of the Criminal Procedure Code, CPC. Suffice it to say here, for the purpose of clarity, that while the law prohibits the search of a woman by a man, it is absolutely lawful for a man to search other things attached to a woman, such as handbags, her briefcases, wallets, and so on. Conversely, there is no statutory provision which prohibits the search of a man by a woman. However, it is advised that a search of a man should be conducted by another man. This is where we draw the curtain on today's episode of the program. Join us again, same time, same station, on another fresh episode. Until then, this is Ano Zechinomso, urging you to be a law-abiding citizen, justify all issues, and bye for now.